Hello, everyone. This is Dina London, and you are attending the Yahrzeits Training. So, Yahrzeits begin with the addition of a deceased person into your database system. So, let's say that someone calls your office and says that their loved one has passed away. The first thing that you need to do is add that person to your database if they don't already exist in your database. So what you would do is you would go to Create New Individual. You put in their name, and then scroll down to Demographics. You need to put in a gender. If you want the parent of, let's say, in your Yahrzeit search to show up as father or mother of. So in that case, you would need to put in a gender. If you don't mind that it just says parent of, then the gender is not required. So I'm going to put in male. Then I'm going to click on the box contact is deceased. And then I'm going to put in the deceased date. So let's say it's last week. Then I'm going to open up extended date information. And I need to toggle death date before sunset as yes or no. If you have no idea, just click yes as the default. That's all the information that you're required to put in on the contact record for the deceased. So their name, their gender, their contact is deceased date, and then the death date before sunset. You, of course, can put in more information if you want to, their birthday, their Hebrew name, etc. But that's all that's required here. So then I'm going to click Save. Once we save the record, then we need to create the Yahrzeits relationships. So we go to the Relationships tab of the deceased person, and we click on Add Relationship. So we're going to pick the first one as the Yahrzeits relationship, which is at the bottom. Scroll down to the bottom and choose Yahrzeits Observed By. And then you're going to find the person in the system who's observing their Yahrzeits. Okay, we found the person. And then if you want to, you can select permissioning of selected contact and view and update information about this person. But most of the time, you're not going to require permissioning, so it's really optional. Then you're going to click Save. Now, we also want to add another relationship because we want to know what Michael's relationship is to the person that he's observing the Yahrzeits for. So we're going to click again, Add Relationship. And then we're going to click Parent of. And we're going to click Save. So now if we go back to David Siegel's record and we scroll down to the bottom to his Hebrew calendar demographics block, we can see that his next Hebrew Yahrzeit is July 20th, 2018, and his next English Yahrzeit is August 1st, 2018. So if somebody ever called your office and said, I've forgotten when my loved one's next Yahrzeit is, all you have to do is go to the deceased record, scroll down to the bottom, and you're easily able to see it in the Hebrew calendar demographics block. Now, let's say somebody passes away that's already a member, already in your database. You essentially do the same thing. You go to their record, you click Edit, and then you add the same things that we added for David Siegel. So you would mark them as deceased, make sure their gender is listed, make sure their extended date information is chosen, and then just click Save. If you want, the one difference is if they happen to be the head of the household. So let's say you're in their record, they've become deceased, and you go to their relationships tab, and they are the head of the household and a member of the household. So in that case, you would want to delete them as the head of the household and the household member. So they are no longer part of that household. They won't come up in correspondence. And then you might want, if they have a surviving spouse, you would want to go to their spouse's record and then add a relationship for head of the household. If you're interested in moving financials from a deceased head of household, I will refer you to our documentation on Yahrzeits in our support center, where there are explicit directions on how to do that if you so desire. You can also see that now in Michael's record, it says the Yahrzeits observed in memory of his father. This one should actually be parent of. Okay, so now, actually he's the child, so we'll take that out. So now he has his two children, his child, his wife, his father. There we go. And his Yahrzeits observing his father. So now that we know how to add a deceased person or change a person to deceased in your database, now maybe you want to send your Yahrzeits letters. So under life cycles, there will be two options: Yahrzeits search for letters and Yahrzeits report for export and printing. So the letters, obviously, you're going to send email letters or print letters. The report specifically formatting for reading on the BIMA. So the setup is documented very explicitly in our support area, but I will go over it briefly here. So under mailings, message templates, you are going to want to find, most likely it's already going to be created for you. But if you are creating these templates from scratch, you'll want to create two templates. One is called your Yahrzeits Reminder, and the other is called Yahrzeits Templated. So the Yahrzeits Reminder is kind of the outline for your letter. And so the reminder will talk about, will give you the date. You'll want to put dear, and you'll want to use a token for the first name of the person. And then you'll want to put basic information and then a signature and maybe your logo. Then all the information that gets merged from the Yahrzeits search is merged with a token called Yahrzeits All Template. And we're going to format that particular sentence in a different mailing template. This is a one-time setup that you need to do in order for, the basic reason is if somebody is observing more than one Yahrzeits in a search time frame, they need to be displayed correctly and one after the other. And so that's the reason we have this very particular setup. So you're going to put the letter with this token, Yahrzeits.all_template here. And then in the templated area under mailings and message templates, under Yahrzeits template, you put the specific sentence that talks about the information that you want to merge regarding the actual observance of the yahrzeit. So here, your dearly departed, this is the name of the deceased, and the name of the relationship of the deceased to the mourner, English date, Hebrew dates, and you find these tokens for this particular observances under tokens up here, and they're all the way down at the bottom, the yahrzeit ones. And so then there's a whole list of them, and so you can go through and you can choose the ones that fit with the particular way yahrzeits are observed at your congregation. And so again, this is a one-time setup. Once the setup is completed, then you are able to run your letters. So if this isn't already set up for you and you set up your own yahrzeit template, then you'll need to go under Administer, Communications, localization, Administer, Localization, Hebrew Calendar, and you need to tell the system the name of that template, message template that has the specific merging yahrzeit information in it. It may, as I said, already be set up for you, but in case it isn't, you just need to tell the system what template you're using and then click Submit. So now once you're set up with your letter and your merge capabilities, you want to send your, let's say, weekly yahrzeit notice, you would go to Life Cycles, Yahrzeit Search for Letters. And the search criteria allows you to be as specific as you want. You can choose from a group of people, you can choose membership, you can choose a date range. There are dates to filter that change the way the search operates. Some people coming from other Jewish software found that their old software observed day of, while others observed more traditionally, beginning sundown to sundown. And so by choosing these different filters, you can get the system to reflect how your data looked in your old system. So that's something that you might want to play around with. We do know that Merkafet was date filter morning, so you might want to choose that. Our system defaults to the traditional, which is sundown to sundown. There are also ways to toggle whether someone has a plaque or not. And you can also look at mourner status choices, whether you're looking at people who have living mourners, only include individuals who don't have any mourners. So there's definitely different reasons, different times of the year that you may want to use some of these different filters. So we're just going to choose a date range and then click search. And then you'll get your results with all the information, the mourner, the deceased, the Hebrew English information, the relationship, the mourner preference. And if someone is observing English, they'll show up on the right date in this search for the English observance date. And if someone's observing Hebrew, they will show up in the search on the correct date. If you click on All Records, then from the Actions dropdown, you can either click Send an Email Now to 50 or less, or you can choose Print Merge Document, depending upon how you want to communicate. Then from the template dropdown, you're going to want to use your Yahrzeits reminder letter. So you're not going to use the Yahrzeits templated letter, you're going to use the Yahrzeits reminder letter. And that's the one that has the date and the dear contact name and the salutation, signature, your logo, etc. That's the letter that you would use here with this Yahrzeits All token. And then you would go ahead and click download. and then your letters will be printed to PDF, where the information will be merged into the letter so that you can then print them for mailing. This works exactly the same way for if you were going to do an email. You would use the same method. It just end up sending it via email instead of printing to PDF. So here you see the information is merged into the letter, dearly departed mother, Edith Flintstone, who passed away on. And so all the information from those tokens are merged into the letter, and then you can print them out. So now, if you would like to print something more streamlined for reading at the BIMA, you can go to Life Cycles Yahrzeits Report for export and printing. This report allows you to choose the columns that you want to appear. So if you don't want everything that's available to show, you do have a choice. So we have a few columns chosen here. You can just click on them or unclick them as you need. And then you can go to filters, which allows you to choose a date range for your report, just like you did for your search. So in this case, you can search on the evening observance or the morning observance. So let's say I just do a year-long search again, like I did before. And then I can come down and say, view results. And so you can see you get a cleaner report with only the columns that you have chosen. And then from the actions drop-down, you're able to save the report. You can save it with this name or a different name. That way you don't have to pick the columns every week. It's completely saved for you, and you can print it, or you can export it to Excel, or you can delete it. So lots of different options with your report. So that is our Yahrzeits training. If you have any further questions about this, please don't hesitate to open a support ticket by sending an email to support@jvillagenetwork.com. We also have open office hours every week, so please don't hesitate to sign up for those to ask any questions about the Yahrzeits functionality. Thanks so much for attending. Have a great day.